I, like many others, have been waiting to get certain artifact mods before running the solo dungeon. Thankfully, I've been farming a lot of PvE this week trying to get my crafted Aikilos, and I have unlocked enough artifact mods to get what I wanted. The two most important things that I wanted to use while running this solo dungeon are weakened clear and solo operative. Those two are really useful for it. Weakened clear, it literally will just debuff bosses and cause you to do extra damage. And solo operative gives you extra damage just for doing an activity by yourself. So if nobody's in the fire team with you and you run these two things combined with certain weapons, it gets really powerful. But there's a specific build that I really wanted to try for the solo dungeon, so this is a quick little breakdown of how it works. I haven't really used Arc in PvE much, so it's been pretty fun. But there's kind of an idea to this build to basically get infinite supers, and I'll break it down here. First off, we're going to be using combination blow in unison with flow state and lethal current. Basically what this means is when I dodge, I get increased melee range and melee damage. And that paired with hands-on gives me crazy amounts of super energy. But they changed the way that combination blow works, and it acts kind of like Dune Marchers, the chaining from that. So this states a quick strike that temporarily increases your melee damage when defeating a target, stacking 3 times. Defeating targets with this ability also fully refills your class ability energy and restores a small amount of health. So I'm basically using that melee to stay alive. I'm using it to add clear. I'm using it to get my super back. I'm stacking that with Star Eater scales to then throw Gathering Storm, doing tons of damage. But this also gives me the ability to run low mobility, which allows me to run high resilience. So the rest of this build is high resil, high discipline, basically just spamming all of my abilities as much as possible. I'm running Wither Horde to pair with Weaken Clear, because this is the easiest. It's got auto-loading holster built in if you have the Catalyst done. We've got the Aikilos SMG now crafted with Volt Shot. I personally went for Perpetual. You can see the whole roll here. And this has a reload masterwork. I'm also using the bait and switch Cataclysmic, but I may throw on Storm Chaser to pair with Font of Might, since I'll be making tons of wells off of my melee attacks and my nade throws. And then a quick breakdown of the armor mods. Hands-on, again, really important. This gives me that bonus super energy when I get melee kills. Also running Harmonic Siphon. Multi-kills with Volt Shot off of the Aikilos SMG create orbs, and lots of them. Elemental Ordnance for nade kills to drop wells. Melee Wellmaker, this is the primary source of them. I've got Font of Might on my boots. Another important one I don't see a lot of people run, if you run Stasis Energy for the legs, you can use Orbs of Restoration, where it just states picking up an orb of power grants a small amount of energy to your ability with the least amount of energy. If you double stack that, it gives you even more per pickup. And on my class item, I'm running Solo Operative and Weaken Clear. Now, I'll give you a quick example of what this looks like in game. Now, I'm not going to be fighting any bosses here, but this will give you a quick little example of how the build works in general. So we come in here, we're going to dodge, melee, dodge, melee. And you can see already I'm getting tons of super energy. Tons and tons of super energy. It's also keeping me alive if I take any damage, that health regen. Ignore the melee whiffs. This is Destiny after all. I'm already halfway to my super. And as you can imagine, in a solo dungeon, you can get those stacks of adds really easily. But you see, I'm more than halfway there, and that was just from a quick run of ad clear. Now for DPS, what this would essentially look like is a quick Wither Horde shot, quick SMG shot, and then bait and switch procs. You don't see it on the side because I'm not actually damaging this target, but that is kind of the flow. Weaken Clear also reloads my weapons in the background. So you hit another Wither Horde shot and it reloads the linear. Obviously, again, I'm not damaging the target here because she is immune, but that would look, you know, really nice in solo dungeon. You just hit the Wither Horde shot, hit an SMG shot, bait and switch is procced, go back, hit a Wither Horde shot, hit an SMG shot, your gun's reloaded, bait and switch is procced. There's a lot of synergy between this and a lot of good ways to stay alive. Kind of funny timing there. I stream every day but Tuesdays and Thursdays at twitch.tv/strasner. If you'd like to see more gameplay and get ideas for builds, we're there every single night. Again, besides Tuesday and Thursday, I just lied to you again. I'm sorry.